Hello and welcome to the next video of my LCK Summer Split Preview. We're covering Fredit Brion in this one. The stats indicate something different, so I'm going based on opinion. I'm not a big fan of Fredit Brion and the way they play. It's very, I can't say very enough, safe. And that gives them a chance against everybody, but also it shows that they don't, feel like they can beat somebody straight up. Just the style of play is quite boring. They went 8-10 in spring, sixth place, 13-23 in challenger, which was ninth. They made no moves. They were swapping top laners towards the end of the split. Sword coming in and just kind of not. At first, I thought Sword was okay, but after a while, it seemed actually that Morgan probably was the better bet. Um, just looking at this team, they have good carries, I think, in terms of laning, but I think that's also their laning numbers are boosted a bit by the fact that they don't fight a lot. So top lane, like I said, Morgan is the starter. Slightly worse KDA than Sword, but over 1 CS per minute better than Sword. That's a lot to do with champion pools. Morgan is willing to play a lot of different things, where Sword is more of a tank-oriented player, and that is, based on the few games I saw this past split of Sword. Obviously, Sword was better years ago. With KP, it's also evident because Morgan is around 52%, where Sword is around 61, indicating that Sword definitely gets into a lot more fights than Morgan. Morgan only gets 16% of the kills because he is in the side lane. Sword with 18, unfortunately, probably playing tanks, taking too many kills. Morgan 21.3 gold per minute, Sword 20.1, which is a real indicator of maybe Sword getting a little bit too much gold given the role he was playing on the team. CS per minute is so low that really you don't want him getting any more gold, because so all these kills are going to supplement him to make him like average in the game. I feel like giving a guy gold when he's not farming that well doesn't really help your cause. You should be feeding it into somebody that is getting ahead, and having a carry. So Morgan played 10 champs in 36 games. Sword played 4 and 6. Saboro is the Academy Challenger top laner. HLE had a situation where they had to play all their players from Academy. So all their Challenger player stats on here are from their couple games with the big club. So Saboro struggled. Those two games were rough on the Challenger team. 0.09 KDA, under 7 CS per minute, gotten to only 12.5% of fights. It's not a good sample size. It's not going to do him any justice. Clearly, just these challenger players for Fredit Brion are not ready for the LCK, except one. So Umpty did solid. He wasn't overly great, but he was solid. 3.49, 5.34 CS per minute. That's on the lower half of where you want to be at. 5.5 is the middle ground. 70.2 is the middle ground for KP. So he is, just kind of in the middle. 18.6 kill share, which gives a return on investment for the gold share of 18%. He played 7 champions in 40 games, the smallest champion pool of the starters. Raptor played in 2 games himself. Did very well in the 2 games Raptor ended up playing. 967 967 KDA, 5.9 CS per minute, 76 KP. Maybe he deserves a little bit longer look with the challenger team. Unfortunately, he's probably not, because he's the substitute, but he probably deserves a longer look elsewhere, given his stats. 24% kill share, 20% gold share, 2 champions in 2 games. Definitely capable of possibly being an LCK jungler. Sorry about that. So Raptor, I think, looks pretty good on paper in his couple games he got. Listo struggled like the other challenger players. 0.86, 5 CS per minute. It's just not even doing these guys a lot of justice. Just kind of driving home the point that the Fredit Brion challenger players may not be ready for the LCK right now, and if push comes to shove and they need to pull one up, I think there'll be a little bit of a drop off. So mid lane, Lava. Lava may be their best player on the team, in my opinion. Very good numbers, very good laning numbers. 457, 893, near 9 CS per minute. That is the standard in the LCK. Nearly 75% KP, which is very nice given the 9 CS per minute. He gets involved in fights and he gets farm. But also, like I said in the beginning of this video, the way Fredit Brion plays, at least from my perspective, is very slow, methodical. There aren't a lot of ganks and things like that creating leads. So it's a very team fight oriented team. He was the carry, though, at 31% kill share, but gold share 23.4. So he was getting the kills, but not necessarily the gold. Played 11 champions in 42 games. Feisty played in his 2 games, 818, 2 KDA, 1.2 KDA, 75% of fights. I mean, like I keep saying, these guys just aren't ready. Henna in bot lane, another solid player. Maybe not quite at the level of Lava in his role, but Henna did not look bad in my opinion. 472, 957. 69%, 27%, so secondary carry numbers for kill share, but gets fed with gold like a carry. That probably has a lot to do with the fact that he is farming, 1.6 CS per minute higher. 10 champs in 42 games, played really well. Gammon, 0.38, 813, 38%. I mean, what are you going to do? That guy, just like the rest of them, 813 is pretty bad for CS per minute. You're well under where you want to be, similar to how Saboro was in top lane. And Delight in support, Delight's probably, in my opinion, the third best player on the team behind Lava and Henna, which allows the bot lane to be the strongest part. The bot side of the Rift is the strongest part of Fredit Brion. Delight, 293, nearly 71% KP, played 11 champions in 42 games. Loopy only played Nautilus in 2 games and struggled. So, how do I feel about Fredit Brion? I think I can't say it enough. I don't really like their style of play. I think it's boring. It does work, though, so, you got to take it for what it is. Every team has their play style. And, I mean, it got them 8 wins, but at the same time, when I look at the stats, I mean, I don't need to look at the stats, but what the stats say, just for another perspective, is that they are like the 6th best team. And that's because 5 through 9 or 4 through 9 are pretty evenly matched. It's kind of like pick your poison. Who do you think is better than the others? And I think Fredit Brion is, not better than the others. I think that, they play very passively and that gets them wins because other teams make mistakes. But in the end, Fredit Brion are not very active, not facilitating, and frankly, a bit boring to watch. So comment down below if you're a Fredit Brion fan. I'm sorry for you. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Stay tuned for other LCK videos as part of my playlist. Who do you think should start in top lane, Morgan or Sword? Do you think Lava or Henna is better? I'm leaning towards Lava. But yeah, so comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.